it's just not a loss at all. So, let's see. Resume the Joker. Or the Dark Knight, sorry. Okay, so Joker has everybody in the bank robbery kill the next guy to where the only person that's left is the Joker, and then he drives off in the bus. So there's no people who were part of the bank robbery that he has to split the money with. This is the character of the Joker. But there's... Hold on, I have to pause it because I don't want to get a copyright. I plan on using a lot of stills. Okay, so if you... Some people will say the money, that it's because the Joker didn't want to split the money, because that's what the characters say. They're like, oh, we don't want to... The boss doesn't want this guy to split the money, but we know that he burns a massive pile of money at the end, so that's not really the reason why. No, because the Joker takes a huge stack of money and he burns the whole thing. So, like, his reason for getting rid of those guys was not so he wouldn't have to share the money. It was because they wanted the money. Because they were, like, random... the Joker... Yeah, because they wanted it. So... Okay, this is a great scene right here. The Joker walks in the room. Now, pay close attention if you can to Heath Ledger. You can tell these other actors are acting. It's like, this is one of the things that really stands out in this performance, is usually when you watch a movie or a TV show, all the actors are acting to some extent, and so what happens is like, you forget that they're actors for a minute sometimes. That's, I think, the objective anyway. And so when you forget that they're actors, all into the plot, right? But something weird happens during the Dark Knight, and that is when the Joker enters this scene with a bunch of other actors. See, before he's shown up with in the bank robbery, and everybody had masks on for the most part. But now we see the Joker without his mask on, walking in, and you're going to see, as you watch, that these other actors look like green actors, and it looks like Heath Ledger is straight up real, but that he's possessed. Actor. Immediately. Normally you wouldn't pick up on it that much. Actor. They're all coming off as actors. Everyone but him. And then he looks fucking possessed and more real than a regular person. There's a steadiness there, too. The acting picked up on Denzel's part for a split second when he answered him there, where it wasn't as bad as in the other parts. They all look like actors. And this guy looks like something's going on. Now this is where it gets interesting. That the Chinese guy on the camera who just came up, he actually isn't giving off that actor vibe like the other guys. And it may be because he is like his character in real life, or I don't know why. But it could be because his character is supposed to be kind of like acting a little bit, but I'm not sure why. Why haven't you done it already? Because you never, what did he say? Because you never do anything you like for free? If you're good at something, never do it for free. How much you want? Yeah. Crazy. I'm not. No, I'm not. If we don't deal with the Batman now, soon, little Gamble here won't be able to get a nickel for his grandma. Enough from clown. Let's not blow it. Let's not blow this out of proportion. Thinking of putting the word out? 500 grand for that clown. $1 million a lie, so I can teach him some manners first. All right. So listen. Why don't you just give it a thought and start thinking things a little more seriously? Here's my card. Oh, I love this scene with the fucking bomb on his chest. Every person who's lived through child abuse wishes that they had had that bomb attached to their chest when they were in the room with the people who assaulted them when they were a kid. And either way would have been all right. Now, the Batman in this particular, obviously we know that Harvey Dent is a nuanced character. Because Harvey Dent, as we know, kind of loses his mind and becomes, what does he call himself after he has the chemical burn, his girlfriend dies. He becomes this guy who flips a coin, and like whether people are going to live or die. So he no longer, and the reason why he does that is because look at his life. He's in this movie, Harvey Dent is like he's the lawyer who's trying to, I won't say he's the most like depicted as the most honest guy in the place, because you've got Harvey Dent, you've got the police commissioner, you've got Joker, and you've got Batman doesn't really think enough to be considered in that crew. The commissioner and Harvey Dent both have the ability to, like, they've got more skin in the game than Batman. They've had to take their hero persona to the public, and they've had to do it in front of the public. They're not able to go be a hero in a cape on the side and do all these great things and then show up as the bad guy and then try to keep themselves straight somehow. So Harvey Dent has spent his career to be a lawyer, persecuting lawyer who would take down like scumbags, right? Actual scumbags. And in the movie, he's depicting someone who actually hates scumbags. A lot like Woody Harrelson's character in True Detectives, where like he gets exposed to like some bad people who did child abuse and he becomes insane, right? Like, but in this case, not insane, but driven. In this case, Harvey Dent is like, he's given his whole life to being a lawyer and going after the bad guys. And he will take it to that next level, right? You like how clean it is in here? All this stuff laying on the counters? That's right. You're lucky to get to see it. Anyways, so then after doing everything supposedly right and being in earnest, okay, his girlfriend gets blown up by the Joker, right? But the problem is that deep down, Harvey Dent has always known that the institution was part of the problem. But he thought he could be a good guy and play within the institutional framework. Until the Joker kills his girlfriend. And the hard part about it is that the Joker is a better character than Batman. Batman is more self-righteous and is worse in a lot of ways than the Joker. So, oh, please. So, when Harvey realizes that this nuanced character that he can't say is either good or evil took him out, but a self-righteous bastard's still running around the town and he couldn't do anything to prevent it. The girlfriend's dead. The whole thing's over. And what he realizes is that his whole fight for right and wrong was a big fucking mistake. And he says, I'm done with right and wrong. I'm going to get a coin out now, and I'm never going to think of myself as a good or a bad person again. I'm just going to toss a coin and go with whatever it says. No personal malice, no cruelty. I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm not going to kick you extra, call you names. But if something has to get done, I'm going to flip a coin. That's Harvey Dent. And I'm going to do what needs to get done because I don't see myself as either good or evil. That's Harvey Dent. I love how they filmed this fucking movie. How the camera rolls around and it's kind of like shady. It's not like super bright the way they do stuff now. The lighting, the camera panning. It's pretty. I just like how it's filmed. I'm not gonna lie. Police commissioner if he had had the same thing happen to him that happened to Harvey Dent, if we put the police commissioner in Harvey Dent's position and imagine if the commissioner had had his wife and his kid killed and like the way Harvey Dent did, and then like all this stuff, and I think that the commissioner would not flip a coin to decide what to do. The commissioner's breaking point would be that he would become a suicide bomber. So like if the commissioner had gone through the same thing as Harvey Dent, he probably would have become like a kamikaze, he would have done something like taken himself into the criminal underworld and blown himself up. They kind of hybrid the character of the butler in this one by using Morgan Freeman and then the white actor who plays the butler. And I think it works. I just wonder if they did that because they wouldn't have wanted to put Morgan Freeman in as butler because it would have looked bad to have like a black man as Batman's butler. So they were like, we're going to have two butlers, a black one and a white one. We'll just have to give the black one look a little bit because it just would have looked super bad because he already looks like a rich playboy who's like, so an English white nanny butler, but then they gave him a second one, like as a business guy. Oh, this is a fucking hilarious scene. So this guy put out $1 million to get the Joker alive, and he thinks that he got him, right? Denzel Washington. Doesn't he have a thing now where he puts out all kinds of like... Is that Denzel Washington, or am I getting my actors mixed up? It might not be. If it's a different actor, then I'm on the different topic. But Denzel Washington puts out like long, encouraging lectures all the time now. I don't know what that's about, but they're not always right. Oh, look, but he's perfectly fine. What happened? Oh, the guys who brought him betrayed you. Oh, man. Let's see the dialogue. Yeah, whatever. It makes it believable because you see how the black guy with the twin braids came in with his eyes super wide. He's either a really good actor or he's not an actor. People who get pissed off about certain shit, like they show the whites of the eyes like that and the sclera above the eyes. Okay, so here's a Joker. So dead, he says, that's 500 grand. How about 5? You want to know how I got these scars? Yeah. My father was a drinker and a fiend. Every time he tells the story, it's a little different. Then one night, he goes off, crazier than usual. Mommy gets the kitchen knife. He doesn't like that. Not one bit. So, me watching, he takes the knife to her and, laughing while he does it. You see, he turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?" He comes at me with the knife. "Why so serious?" He sticks the blade in my mouth. "Let's put a smile on that face." Okay, let's talk about what that's about. I'll tell you what I think that's about. The smile on his face and his father. He does tell the story differently every time, but every time he tells it, it's about like somebody who's trying to put a smile on someone's face by force, right? It turns out that those people, 1.5% of the population who has dissociative range disorders from the most severe spectrum of the child abuse that goes on in our society all the time. And this is why I tell people, like, you know, the Marines, when they march around on base, I listen to them, okay? So they'll tell you, like, they fucking chant for war. They chant and ask for there to be a war. Their Marine chants are asking for war. They're saying, like, let's bring war. We want to go to war. I'm going to tell you something. I've been saying this a lot lately, and I'm going to say it again. Whenever there's a war, okay, humans are always trying to conquer one another, sadistically humiliate each other, etc. A certain amount of them. When there's a war going on, the fighting is between, for the most part, I mean, women and children do get it somewhat, but there's finally some fighting between men. Pick on someone your own size. When there's no war going on, all the same crimes you see during the worst times of war are happening, and worse, but they're happening to small children at home with their own fucking families. So, when you say peace, peace, and you think it's peaceful in the world, it means all the worst crimes are still happening. They're all still happening. But it's not man on man anymore. It's coward against child. Now, if you happen to live through that, because we have a shit-ass society, you had to go through that and live through it. It would be better if they had died, but if you do, then you're like the Joker, right? You managed to live through that. And it turns out the studies say that people who disassociate, like the Joker, that when they smile, they don't actually feel any corresponding happiness. In fact, when disassociative people see other people smiling or they smile, their brain is usually on fire with pain. So unless it's a sarcastic grin, it's actually because they were forced to smile against their will when they didn't mean it, and now a smile or seeing smiling people causes them intense psychological pain. And then our society makes a marketing campaign out of happiness to gaslight them. Sometimes I think the people in the 1800s had less deleterious mutations than this generation because, you know, only half, 1/3 of the people would get to childbearing age. And because of that, they were smarter, because they could have sat there with a dumbass smile on their face for 5 minutes while the film was processing, but they chose to frown. It was the least of the indecent things that they could choose to do, was at least don't fucking walk around smiling and making a marketing campaign of happiness while the world is in this condition. Because it gaslights the people who really have suffered. And it makes you look like an ungrateful prick. So his father carved a fake smile on his face while he's really in pain. That's what happens to all disassociatives.
Aren't you happy? Aren't you happy while you're suffering? Oh, look, we go to church and praise God over your suffering. And now we're so thankful there's peace and not war. So men can't fight men, but cowards can get children. And then, well, these rabbis will take these pedophiles and they'll run them off to Israel and hide them. Oh, yeah, they do that, don't they? And then the priests do it, too. Well, here's someone for you.
So we're gonna have tryouts, okay? You want to take it fast. We'll see if the priest and the rabbi, which one lives, and then we'll kill the other one. Just kidding, it's just a movie. The fact that the TV is not centered probably will help prevent a copyright, though. If I go like this, it'll be like, there's just a TV in the corner. We don't even know what's going on. Oh my god. Ah, this guy. He's convincingly creepy. Morgan Freeman's chill enough. Okay, so we get out of that area. I know, they're probably all, according to the conspiracy theorists, if you're famous, so I don't want to call them chill enough, because if you're famous, according to the conspiracy theorists, they use bribery of human trafficking stuff in order to keep each other in line, and so anyone who's, like, made it... Here's the way I see it. If someone's in the 27 Club, it's because their reaction to what was happening was too nuanced to not crack the other people and the system wide open. So they get rid of them. And they usually know by the time they're 27. But sometimes, like Tupac, they're like, well, 25 will have to do this time. We can't wait. Oh, is this a conspiracy channel? And is that why I'm down to 0? That's funny. Does that hurt? Good. sometimes I wonder if actors who never really got that famous and just like did one sitcom, if they are maybe not involved with the blackmail human trafficking conspiracy cover-up that everybody knows about. And that's why they just did like one show. I sometimes wonder about that. I don't know. And I'll tell you the reason why. Every once in a while, not really recently, but back in the day, you'd see an actor and you'd think like, I still see him now, and I go, does this one not know what's going on, or are they so disassociative that they forget? And it may be that they're not involved in it, but they just might be so disassociative that they switch teams and forget what's going on all the time. And that could be another reason for it. But like, and I'm thinking specifically of Northern Exposure. Because when I watch Northern Exposure, there's some of the actors on there that I go, like, I'm not sure if this one was completely up on the human trafficking blackmail ring when they joined the show. They did film it, I think, like, on location, and they were trying to keep the native and the regular people in the background, and they even incorporated, like, people's family members into it and shit. So sometimes I wonder if the people who were like some of the actors, when I watch them on the show, I'm like, maybe, I don't know, like, I really don't know if the like Native American Eskimo girl who's like the receptionist on Northern Exposure, I don't really know that whether or not, like, I have no clue whether or not she's aware of how bad it is, because she's just like a person who applied for the part, and she wasn't like someone who came from Hollywood. And so because they filmed it on location and because they picked out random people, I go, like, I really don't know. And sometimes when there's like a show like that, because they're trying to get the audience to believe them that they're not blackmailists running on human trafficking, like, they know that it doesn't really matter whether the audience believes them for the most part, because most of them won't think twice about it. But like, you really don't want to get like unnecessarily get like 13% of them in a ripple, because then they might affect the 66%, and then it's going to be, you know, 80 against 20 if they give them enough cookies and kumbaya, and then you'd be out, right? So like, I know, I think about that all the time. Do you know if the people who think of themselves as righteous were willing to lie and cheat and do whatever was necessary, and consider that those laws don't matter anymore? Because the way that our society works is that it rewards, you have to be a complete shit stain to be a success at life. If you're not a complete shit stain, you're going to have only problems. Life is for shit stains. And if you haven't learned shit stainism, you may fall behind in class. And if you fall behind in class a lot and you get really angry and you try to be a good person and hold it in, you could have blood pressure or health problems, according to Gabor Mate. So then that's the easiest way to get rid of the competition, is use them as long as you can, and they'll just go off and kick the bucket. They don't care. They don't have a conscience, right? So then that means that I'm going to outlive you guys, but that's how they think. Okay, so what happens is you have to be able to think to yourself that every bad guy is a good guy and every good guy is a bad guy. So the first thing is, if you really think you're a good guy, no matter how ethical or fair you try to be, you have to first embrace the core precept that every human is born a bad guy. Every human is born a bad guy. No matter what decision you make as a human, let's say that you go out there and you're a law-abiding citizen, you're going to offend and hurt some people. Let's say you go out there and you become a criminal, you're going to go offend and hurt some people. Let's say that you go mind your own business, you're going to offend and hurt some people. Let's say that you pretend not to, you're going to offend and hurt some people. Let's say that you go out there and try to get power to change other people's lives. Well, according to science, your neural pathways for empathy will be pruned, so by the time you have the power, you won't have any empathy back. So whatever you do for those other people will be misguided self-righteousness. The rat wrote, hell is paved in good intentions, right? So So you're fucked. As long as you persist in thinking that you're a good person, you're a bad person. The only people I've ever known who thought they were good people are bad people. A good person will never call themselves good. But bad people will call themselves good all day long. Have you ever noticed that? I have. Can you resume The Dark Knight? Who tried to tell you you're good people? What's the motive? What would be someone's motive in telling you you're a good person? Just think about that for a minute. It's to manipulate you. I would say that every that the value of ending the madness in society is more important than being fair to everybody. That if you try to give fairness to everybody in the same amount when some of these people are out to get you, then you're stabbing yourself in the back and you're stabbing humanity in the back. Because there's no plan that incorporates everything and everyone and pleases everyone that's not complete shit. And if people try to get you all worried about finding a plan that incorporates and does that's because they want to keep you frozen and paralyzed by having too much fucking compassion or some shit like that. It ain't no good. Ain't not no nothing. Press the button on your Fire TV and wait 10 seconds and then turn it back on. Okay. Ain't not no nothing. That's what they say every day. Ain't not no nothing. That's just how we's play. Ain't not no nothing. Ain't no not nothing. That's fascinating. Ain't not no. That's what they say. Ain't not no nothing. Almost every day. Oh, look. Ain't nothing, no, in the nothing. Can you please open HBO and resume? Oh, shoot. Can you open settings, please? I was feeling a show-off vibe. Didn't someone new show up? Can you open settings? Thank you. Oh, look, I said thank you to the AI. You know why I do that, don't you? Even though it didn't hear me? Because it says that your neural pathways will alter for how you're treating the AI. Well, if you want to learn how to be a cold and callous person, practice on the AI, and apparently you might be able to use it on people later.
You son of a bitch! You goddamn useless piece of shit!
No, that's not how they abuse them. You have to, like, you have to gaslight the TV. You have to act like the TV is really, like, you're going to give it comfort and it's part of things, and then you have to, right when it feels comfortable, then you need to shatter every single thing that has meaning to it, and make sure that meaning itself is destroyed in the process, and that they can never have their family and their friends back. Okay. No, don't really do that. But I'm just saying, like, well, you could do it to the TV set. I mean, whatever. We're really doing a euphemism here for Joker himself. Okay. So let's see. Don't get so excited. Can you open HBO Max, please? And not know nothing. That's what the people say. Ain't not know nothing. Each and every day. And if there's nothing, then there ain't not nothing. Can you open The Dark Knight? Resume it. Oh.
Playing The Dark Knight.
Thank you. I don't say it into the microphone because she will start a long dialogue. Oh. I did. I used to say thank you to the AI. And then, well, you want to see what happens? Thank you. Rarely will she just say you're welcome. Oh. Fine. It used to be she would always say something like a long conversation and then ask me questions, and I'd be like, how do I leave this conversation? They're all gonna come after you, not just the mob. Politicians, journalists, cops. Anyone who's wants about you later. What are you up to? You better be. Oh boy. Whoa, okay. Very exciting. The Joker.
Squish, squish.
This is a good way to do voodoo if you haven't been doing your voodoo lately. And you have like an actor you don't like on TV. Just pull them up and then go like this. I don't have anything with that actor. Well, if we're gonna do something like that, I mean, I would go a completely different route with it. Starting tonight. I'm a man of my word. Brian yells. Oh, look, we'll look at other things as well, so I don't get a copyright. Oh, we're still reviewing. Okay, we're gonna fast forward. I love this one. So this particular scene, before I even watched the director talk about it, I watched it, and when I watched it, I was like, this actress is looking for her handlers and her director because she actually, Heath Ledger threw her off. She didn't know if he was serious and if he was going to hurt her because it wasn't like acting, and I could see it. And when I went and watched people talk about the scenes, because I noticed it, they literally recorded exactly what I had noticed. The scene where she did not think he was acting and she legitimately got scared. and she was looking for the directors and her handlers for reassurance that this was part of the show, because she didn't know. And don't think that actors don't sometimes die and they don't cover it up afterwards, because it's happened. And so she didn't know if that's what was happening to her in front of this whole crowd, because she's seen them do worse to other people. It's not out of the question, right? This is the scene that's coming up right here, where you can tell the actress herself is not this is a commercial. Look at, I'm doing commercials. Ooh, where are you? It's so mysterious here. That looks pretty, doesn't it? That looks really amazing. And it does look like they're pecking at something. That little piece right there, maybe it's magic mushrooms. What are they doing? If I move the other pen thing over, it would make it look even more convincing. Maybe not. Okay. Look, it makes everything look like it's psychedelic Christmas. Okay, scene's coming up. Just something little, huh? Fast forward a little bit more. That's right here. So when he looks at this guy, he's keeping his character, but the problem is you can tell that he's not really mad at him. Let me rewind that a little bit. That's why I told you that Heath Ledger is possessed during this movie, in my opinion. Okay, watch him. When he gets his hands on this guy, he looks like he's kind of like, he's kind of doing the Joker thing, kind of, but he doesn't look as much in character. Good morning. Okay, he doesn't look as much as character. The guy he's dealing with here is not bringing out the possession in him, and he's just like maintaining the part like his normal Heath Ledger acting self, but he doesn't have the full possession behind it. And it's because this other actor's not pissing him off. But this girl right here, she's been in all kinds of ditty parties. And she, when this happens, she has no clue if he's serious or not, or if the director was going to just let her die and later on say it was an accident, and if they'd planned it, because she saw them do mean shit like that to other people. Right now, she's not sure. She's ready to call the director, but she's like doesn't want to cut the scene because she doesn't know what they're doing. She's wanting to believe that he's faking, but he looks so real. He doesn't look like he's acting like he did with the other guy, at all. No. Now he doesn't look like he's acting. Look at her face. And she sees it. He might actually. Nope, she really is. She's really feeling it, and you can tell. She thinks the director's he's humiliating her, and she thinks the director's going to get her out of it, and she doesn't know if it's part of it or not, and she's really being humiliated right now. It wasn't in the scene for him to treat her like that. Told you he's possessed. She knows it. That is a real turn to the director. She said it in the cut. She's trying to get the director to pull her out. This is not acting. He saw her at those Diddy parties. Those Epstein parties. See that little fucking... This makes you want to get your fingers in there. I want to get that wrong lady in the scene so I can squish her fucking little head. Squish, squish.
Squish, you ugly fucking piece of shit. Too bad you didn't get slaughtered in real life. I'm not gonna do anything about it in my physical body, but get a voodoo doll that looks like you and squish you on the TV screen. A nasty piece of shit. There she is. Give her.
Look at now. She's acting again. You can tell. Look at her face. Now she looks unbelievably obnoxious, and I hate her. When she was scared, that was the only good look she ever had. Throw her out the window. Yeah, except for in our version, she actually hits the deck. Let's just fast forward. I'll do a part 2 on this one. Maybe. Because I want to turn the volume up. Yeah, I kind of want to watch that scene again because I really like watching that scene. That's one of my favorites. I like watching the look on her face because I know she needs it. Oh, you fucker. You need it too. You need it too. Squish, squish. And he's gone. I'm going to back up a little bit. We're going to set it here for now so I don't get a copyright. Volume and visual is just too much for them. It's got to be one or the other. And then it's got to have like the TV and the commentary and shit. And I still could get a copyright, but I might not. Sometimes I still get them anyway. I'm debating shutting it down and restarting another one. Yeah, okay, I'm going to turn this stream off, and then I'm going to start another one, and it'll just say movie review.